welcome back. You know, I was gonna vlog while I was at work, but I just couldn't vlog then. But it's okay, I'm gonna do it probably next week. I'm gonna start vlogging and just give you like a day of my life of me at work. Right now I'm leaving. I actually had went to Benihana's for the first time. And let me tell you, that was the worst experience I ever had at a hibachi spot. Like, the whole point of hibachi, even if the price is OD, but hey, their lunch hours, basically prices cut in half, everything like that. But you go there for the experience. Nothing else, nothing more. I guess you can say the food is a bonus, but you go for the experience. So today I went, right? And you know, every time you go to a hibachi spot, after they bring you everything, the chef comes in, line the table up, whatever you need, and then he starts with the fire show. You know, he put the oil on the grill and he just lights it up and the flame, poof, right? And you feel the heat. It's been a trend on TikTok. He did not do that. You want to know what he did? He went straight to cooking, which I can respect, right? I was hungry. I can respect that. You know, let's get the gimmicks out the way. But no, I wanted to see the fire show, right? Even if it's like 2 to 5 seconds, I wanted to see it. He didn't introduce himself. Looked like he was ready to go home. And bro was cooking so fast, I questioned my existence. How can someone move so fast, but be so ass at cooking? That was my logic right there. Because how can you have rice? Rice is like the main component of the meal. How can you have rice, undercook, perfectly cook, and overcook on the same plate? Can someone please explain to me? You know, in my head, I thought maybe, it's just an off day. You know, everybody has an off day. It's just an off day. I'm gonna forgive him, and I'm just gonna eat my food. But it turns out everybody's food at the table was not good. I ordered hibachi steak, which is a New York strip. You know, I love steak. I love a lot of steak. And he drowned it with this garlic butter. I like my steak medium rare. Guess what I got? Medium. Bro was not cracking jokes. Straight silence. No fire show. Rush cooking. I spent a good, $28 on my meal? At least the strawberry lemonade was good. You know, at least I left out there with something decent. Today is moving day, but not for me. I'm helping a homie out today. It's moving from one spot to another. I guess that's what moving is. But the thing about moving today, he doesn't need help with the little things like kitchen appliances, brooms, mops, blankets. No, he needs help with the heavy stuff today. Like, he wants me to help him move a bed, desk, TVs. And the thing about me is, I'm not too fond of the moving process, right? If you would have asked me a couple months ago, I probably would have done it. Right now, I am on ADHD meds. And so, this med right here it causes you to lose weight, essentially. So, I've been losing weight these last couple months. I lost a lot of my muscle mass. And I'm trying to get them back as we speak. And also, I went to the doctor. You know, you get your annual checkup, things of that nature. I have elevated cholesterol, which I was surprised about. I was really surprised, but it made sense because these last couple months, as you can tell, I'm sitting still and I'm breathing very, very hard. It's hard for me to like catch breath. So that's one of the things I'm working on. I have been eating not healthy. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been eating fast food like a lot. And I have not been cooking. I've been eating fried food too, a lot. So I'm cutting back on all that type of stuff. I'm going to cook more. You know, I'm working out. I'm trying to move a lot more as well. I'm not trying to be stationary or just like always in my office or always in, my room, not doing much. I'm trying to get active. So the moving thing is really definitely going to help. It's weird because if you think you're losing weight, you wouldn't have elevated cholesterol. And I know my meds, I did research too, they also elevate my cholesterol level. So that's going to factor. So I really got to start paying attention to my health. Health is a very important thing. I'm going to be upfront and authentic on this camera, on this journey, on this channel. You feel me? Can't funk the fake or fake the funk, whatever that is. I have made it. Let's see what's going to be in store. Oh, what the? Okay, look here, I got the mattresses and all that. Okay, all right, we good. Gucci, Gucci, Gucci. I wonder what you want me to get then. As you can see, I'm dying. I'm dying. I don't let the washer, dryer, dressers, TVs, other heavy stuff. This is what you do for friends. I don't recommend it. And then their neighbors are Mexicans, and they're grilling outside. They're having a party, and the food smells so good. It smells amazing, and I can't have any. I'm going to talk to you about my journey with ADHD. I'm going to tell you about one, signs, symptoms, being diagnosed, how it affects family relations, romantic relations, medications, so on. So early on in my childhood, I would say around 3 to 5, I can't really remember, but I was very fortunate that my family used to record us. So we have like 10 hours of home videos that I can go back and look at my childhood, analyze. So what I saw was that I was very hyperactive. Compared to me now, I'm pretty much laid back and chill, but back then I was hyperactive. Climbing on top of things, I'm jumping off things, swing sets, I'm just doing stuff that a normal child would not do. We fast forward to elementary school, really didn't see anything wrong with me because one, I just wasn't aware of like mental health concepts. I felt pretty normal. Fast forward to middle school, same thing. Didn't really see anything off about me, but it wasn't to high school where like my brain just started changing from freshman year to senior year. Going into high school, I was an avid book reader. I can read a whole bunch of books. When I got into high school, I don't know what grade it was, my focus dropped. I couldn't read books to save my life. And it was because I could not read books. It's just my focus, it wasn't there anymore. I read a couple pages, then I'm closing the book and never return it back to it, which is really new to me, right? This is where overthinking starts to happen. This is where anxiety starts to happen. This is where depression starts to happen. I'm not saying that if you have ADHD, you're going to experience these things. It's a possibility, but external factors can contribute to your diagnosis. That happened to me all high school. But the main thing that I take away was my focus was going downhill. Fast forward to college, this is where I was like, okay, there's something wrong with me. So college, I couldn't write papers anymore. It's not because I couldn't write papers, I just couldn't focus on writing papers. I was struggling. I was struggling in college, but I was still maintaining good grades, but I ended up dropping out because all interest in college just went away. As the years go on, these symptoms are starting to progress even more. When I tell people having ADHD, it's just having your mind going a million miles an hour. Just a whole bunch of thoughts, ideas, and you can't focus on one. You can't do none of that. Like when a non-ADHDer says to someone with ADHD, like, why can't you focus? This, that, and the third. They don't know what's really going on up here, right? So this is how I compare ADHD to something very similar. Is imagine every highway in America. Place it in your mind. Place all these cars just driving on these highways 24/7 nonstop. There's no break. The cars are the ideas, and the highways are the pathways that these ideas travel on or these thoughts travel on. So you see what I'm saying? And this constant activity going on up here. There's no such thing as clarity. There's no such thing as peace up here. Nothing at all. As these years are progressing, my memory is being shot. Like I can't remember nothing. The important information that I needed, it's like my brain was storing it in my short-term memory bank. I was forgetting a lot of things I left and right. Then of course, you had the small stuff where, you know, losing your keys. Like I just placed my keys down 2 seconds and I don't know where I put those keys. And I'm looking for like 30 minutes to an hour looking for those keys. Let's see, constantly losing your cell phone, conversating with someone. This is where the focus really takes factor. When you lose sight of that focus, you forget every single word that this person says to you. That's why I'm terrible with names. I'm terrible with birthdays. Like if I'm talking to you and you say a sentence, I'm not going to remember what you just said. So imagine how that plays out in like school life, in the academic life, relationship life, just life in general. That was a major key factor right there, that there's something, off about me. Another symptom is time. There's no sense of time to someone with ADHD. Like, we can see this concept, all right, I need to be somewhere at 10 a.m. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do this. And about the time I leave the house, I'm gonna make it on time. Never happens. Obviously, objects impermanence or something like that, or object permanence, basically out of sight, out of mind. If you don't see something, you don't think about it, which is crazy concept to think about. For me, I kind of struggle with this. I will say romantically, but it has gotten better. So let's say I have a partner who's not in front of me. They're at home or they're somewhere else. Out of sight, out of mind, my brain just automatically erases them from my mind. Like, they no longer exist until I see them or until I hear from them. So you can see how that would affect a relationship. It's not that I don't care about this person, it's just how my brain is wired. Out of sight, out of mind. It can be a blessing and it can be a curse. Trust me. ADHD paralysis. So let's say I'm linking up with the homies at 3 p.m. The time that I wake up to 3 p.m., I can't do anything. There's nothing that I can do. I am literally frozen. I don't know why this happens, but it happens. I don't know if it's anxiety. I don't know if it's just me trying to prepare myself just to be out for the day, because this is what happens to me. There's a family trip planned 5 months in advance. I'm gonna say, yeah, I'm gonna go. Then months leading up to, let's say 2 months or a month out, it's like, man, I don't know if I want to go anymore. I gotta pack my bags. I gotta figure out what clothes to wear, what shoes I'm gonna bring. I'm worrying about the process of getting to the airport, going through customs, TSA, getting on the plane, finding my seat, making sure my bag fits. Now we gotta land. Now gotta figure out how we're gonna get to the hotel, resort, whatever it is. This, that, and the third. It's just constant worrying about a lot of things. And this is typically associated with ADHD, anxiety as well. So sometimes ADHD and anxiety goes hand in hand. So that's a big indicator right there as well. The last two symptoms I'm gonna talk about kind of go hand in hand, but emotionally dysregulation and executive dysfunction. Emotional dysregulation is simply saying you don't have this baseline control of your emotions, right? Most people, they're pretty much like this throughout the day. It might be a couple spikes up, might be a couple spikes down, nothing too dramatic. But someone with ADHD, bipolarness, there's other conditions that are associated with this. There's no baseline, right? It's up, down, up, down, up, down, small up, down, like this throughout the day. So if you think about it, if your emotions are out of tune every day, you have constant overthinking, there's no peace in your mind. A lot of people with ADHD get linked with bipolarness. That's another factor that plays into effect, but it's different for everybody. With me, I had somewhat of a baseline, but it was still up and down. But it was some plateau areas, right? And then you have executive dysfunction, which simply means it's hard to make decisions. I am terrible at making decisions. I don't know why. I think about both sides of whatever we're talking about, and it's just so hard for me just to make this decision. And this can be a good thing, it can be a bad thing. Think about relationships. It's going to be hard to lead in a relationship if you're a man and you're experienced this executive dysfunction. You can't make decisions for real. And so there's a lot of things that go hand in hand with ADHD. There's a lot more symptoms. The medication that I take is Wellbutrin. I forgot like the official name for it. It's like bupropion or something like that. But Wellbutrin, for some people, it helps with their ADHD. With some, it don't help with their ADHD, but it's really powerful when it comes to anxiety, depression, things of that nature. I started off with 150 milligrams after just getting diagnosed, and 150 felt amazing for like the first month or two. You get this sense of euphoria. You're able to like lock in, focus. The main thing for me was the clarity of the mind. My mind was not filled with thoughts 24/7. It was this calmness that really, really took effect. And it kind of spent me into a spiral somewhat because when you're used to living life where your mind is constantly running with thoughts and ideas, and then you transition into just peace and calmness, you're kind of like grieving in a sense. And so when you take these medications, you do have to grieve because you're like, wow, I could have did so much with my life if I would have known about this earlier. It's almost kind of like a superpower in a sense. That's how I feel about it. When it comes to just having ADHD and medications, you just gotta find out what works best for you. Adderall, I felt like a superhuman, but I didn't like the side effects. To me, the side effects outweigh the pros. Well, Butrin, I just got lucky, tried it out, and it worked. And so some of the side effects is dry mouth for like the first 2 weeks, slur speech, first 2 weeks. For me, for some people, these symptoms can go on for months, for days, or they don't have them. Diarrhea was another one. You're going to be constantly in the bathroom, on the toilet. Headaches. That was like the last symptom for me was headaches. I mean, they weren't that bad because I can deal with headaches, but migraines I can't deal with. So anytime I got a headache when I'm on this medication, I always keep a BC powder with me. Things work instantly. Another big side effect for me, which I'm trying to balance out, is weight loss. I went from weighing like 150, 160 to like 120, like within 2 months, almost 3 months. So I don't eat for real throughout the day. I used to eat once a day, but before the medicine, I was eating like that, and I was low-key kind of gaining weight. But I was keeping the same weight or gaining weight, which is crazy. Now I'm on this medication where I'm eating like that, and I lose a lot of weight. I'm losing a lot of muscle mass. So now it's just me figuring out how can I balance my eating schedule and gain all this weight back. So last week, my doctor upped my dosage to 300 milligrams. I was kind of nervous. All my research I do is on Reddit, and then you look at scholarly articles and stuff like that. So I was just reading personal stories, and I was kind of nervous. But as soon as I took it, the same effects that I had with 150 mg, just like that sense of euphoria, sense of clarity, focus, it was like times two. Like, bro, it's perfect for me right now. I just love this clarity that I have in my mind, this freedom of, okay, when a thought comes into my head, whether it's positive or negative, I can remove it. I don't linger onto it. Just like nothing in my mind. And I really enjoyed that because living life with your mind constantly running for years, it's exhausting. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's really exhausting. Right now, I am experiencing slurred speech just a little bit because, this is a new dosage. So if you hear me slur my speech in this, that's why. So I do have to talk a certain way. Not experience any headaches, not experience diarrhea. Weight loss, we'll just have to see. But like I said, I'm trying to combat that. Yeah, but outside, this is so far my journey with ADHD. Like I said, I just got medicated for it in January, I believe. So my journey being diagnosed so far is going well. Beforehand, life was it was hard. I was playing life on the hardest difficulty ever. So now it's like life is on easy mode. So yeah, I can definitely make more videos with this, go more into depth about different stories, different experience with me with ADHD and like certain situations, talk more about the medicine, signs, symptoms, all that. See you next week.